Welcome to Reality Check. Please take a look at the video.
Or get, sidetracked in that type of situation.
See, niggas say this, don't leave the hood. You gotta leave the hood, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta leave the hood.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be in the hood, bro.
And tell me why.
Because the hood is like, you gotta understand, when you come from them ends, it's struggle.
Okay.
When you come back to the hood, you come back to bless the hood. You don't come back to chill in the hood and have police because you got enemies. You understand? So the more fame, richer, whatever you get, the more success you get, is the more angry that the people didn't like you. And you sitting there in their face all day. You think police ain't gonna be mad? I was locking this nigga up in all this fucking. If they mad at the dope dealers, what the fuck you think they gonna do to us? Like, come on, like them nigga asking for gonna get thrown on them or some shit.
So what do you do to a person that be like, yo, man, this nigga ain't come back to the hood, man. He fake, man. He ain't fucking with the hood.
It's just like what you do to the person when you was in the hood and the motherfucker like, he fucking that stink coochie bitch, or he fucking they gonna spread rumors everywhere. They always gonna say this, they always gonna say that. And when you come back to the hood, you kind of blessed. You come to do right. You know what I'm saying? You come to support the hood, and that's gonna speak way louder volumes than motherfuckers talking. Let people see that that's the motherfucker that just talked. You know what I'm saying?
You just saw the video of Bobby Shmurda, talking about basically how rappers, generally go back to their neighborhoods and stuff like that, and it's a problem for them. And you know what? Bobby's right in this case. He's pretty much summed it up. A lot of the problems that we have today is a lot of rappers that have the money. They generally feel like they have to go back to that neighborhood. And it's one thing to go back to the neighborhoods, to help out, to take care of people, etc. But when they go back to that neighborhood, they go there back with that mindset, resorting back into the gang lifestyle and other stuff. And that's the stuff that pretty much gets them into a lot of trouble. Some of them don't realize also, when you go back to that neighborhood, whoever has hated you, they probably by now hate you maybe 10 times. You know what I mean? You're going to go there, flashy, nice car or whatever. You're always going to get hate. And a lot of the times, a lot of that hate is really what gets a lot of them into trouble as well. So, a lot of the stuff he was talking about is true. Because remember, you're successful. You're a rapper. You're making a lot of money. You live in a nice house, mansion, or whatever. That bum back in the neighborhood, that person has nothing to lose. You're going to go back to that neighborhood and get caught up into some big mess. Either you get arrested, or you're dead, or something else happens. You have a lot more to lose than they do. And that's the problem. A lot of rappers, want to be rappers, but then at the same time, the problem is they want to be gangsters at the same time. They don't know whether they're rappers or gangsters. That's pretty much how I summed it up, the way, based on the feedback, what he was saying before. And it's like, I'm not judging whether you're a gangster or you're a rapper or whatever. That's not the point of this discussion. The point is, you need to make a decision whether you want to be a rapper or you want to be a gangster. You can't be one or the, you can't be both. You have to be one or the other. You see what I mean? So in this case, they have to be able to make that perfect decision. How do you get yourself caught up in that kind of lifestyle is the problem. And they get themselves caught up in that lifestyle because they feel like that's the right lifestyle for them. That's not a lifestyle for anybody want to be in. I wouldn't recommend that to my worst enemy. You don't want to be in a lifestyle like that because there's nothing good that comes out of that lifestyle. They don't bring anything good out of it. It doesn't help you in the long run. It doesn't benefit anybody. You're rich, successful, stay in your lane. Be successful. Stay successful. You want to help out your homies? Help out your homies. Hell, we live in a digital world today. Your homie needs some money, they can wire them that money digitally. They'll receive that. You don't need to go back to that neighborhood, flashing, doing all of that. A lot of times, 9 out of 10 times, people generally want to show off. That's also another problem that get a lot of rappers caught up. Go in there with jewelries and all that, and then they end up getting robbed as a result of that. Or they're just going in there like, oh yeah, thinking that, oh well, I'm successful and big shot now, so you gotta respect me and this and that. Remember, and especially in the hood, they live by certain rules and regulations and stuff, and your money does not define, your respect in that sense. At least not in every hood. You know what I mean? Somebody might be like, yeah, you might have all that money in the world, but you come back to this hood, it's a whole different, situation here. You know what I mean? If you don't show that person respect, they feel like, well, that's a this or no. And they don't care how much success and how much labels and money that you have, whatever. Respect to respect, the success is success. That's why I say a lot of rappers need to stay in their lane. It's better that way. Don't go back to those neighborhoods if you know you have a certain type of mentality, especially when you were successful. Why even go back in the first place? You work hard to get out of the neighborhood. Why you go back to that? And then the worst part of it, they want to be gangsters. When they going back, trying to be like, oh, even like seriously. So my advice is stay out of all of that mess. Keep your, basically focus on your craft. Be successful. Stay away from all of that. Because once you go back to that neighborhood, you're going to get a lot of problems for yourself. And you know what? If you get locked up or something happens and your label drops you, oh well. You know better. So, it's interesting that, coming from Bobby Shmurda, I think he's grown up, he's wised up, and he's learned a lot from his mistakes in the past. I know sometimes I think it takes a lot, for a man to admit their mistakes and stuff like that, and I'll give this young man, this brother, a lot of credit, for trying to school a lot of people and these new age artists and stuff like that. And then on top of that, he's trying to change his life around for the better. Seek that money, focus on that money. Don't let all these things distract you, because at the end of the day, those things are nothing. People get caught up in that lifestyle, the gangs lifestyle. You know what? That is nothing. Focus and make your money. Anyway, pretty much gonna end it here. Please subscribe, because that really will help, and comment also, that really will help. Give some likes as well too, and help this thing grow. As soon as possible. So please, thank you so much, and we'll talk again. Bye.